The war is over, but this is just the beginning of the Godfather Minute. My name is Alex Robinson.
And I'm Andy Robinson.
Together we are the Godfather Minute Brothers. And we're here to talk about Minute 122. Minute 122.
1, 2, 2. Sounds like coordinates are given.
It does sound like that.
Alex, e minuto.
E minuto.
Numero.
122.
22.
22?
22.
22.
Uh-huh.
That sounds similar to the one we did last week.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it all sounds...
well, it's only one away, so it's going to be
that's
similar.
true. It's only one louder, isn't it?
Why don't they just make 121 the highest number? And then
we're here talking about, because we're talking about minute 122. That's why.
Alex, 122.
22. Minuto numero 122.
Close enough.
We're here to talk about minute 122. We're in the Don's study. And Don tells Tom that he wants him to call a meeting of the 5 families because the war ends now.
This war ends now.
And also he tells Tom to call Bonasera, the corpse valet. Mm-hmm. He's got a job for him. Mm-hmm. Finally. So there was a there was a scene that was written but not filmed of the Bonaseras receiving the phone call from Tom Hagen and Bonasera having not buyer's remorse but barterer's remorse.
Oh, interesting.
Because he's like, I never should have gotten mixed up with the Godfather. So he's regretting. And then also there was, I guess he was gonna be standing outside when they pulled up and they were gonna have the body in a bag and be like, where should we take this? And he's like, over in the elevator.
Yeah.
So
and that is in the book.
Oh, that is in the book.
Yeah, that's probably why they wrote it and then just at some point decided not to film it. It makes sense. It's so effective.
Oh, yeah, definitely is.
Shots of the elevator going down
from
the elevator.
Yeah. It's like he's descending down into hell.
Well, it's really cool. I noticed upon the third watching. That's right, Alex. I watched this minute 3
Godfather
times.
3?
You bet I pay this much attention to detail for all the minutes that we analyze.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but at the very end of this minute, Don Corleone walks away from Hagen as you hear Tom Hagen making the call. So you just hear Hagen's voice.
Yes.
And the Don walks down the hall. He turns right. And just as the camera switches to the shot from inside the elevator going down, Don Corleone is walking upstairs. Mm-hmm. So it's this really weird juxtaposition of different ups and downs. The Don is walking up, but then the next shot, you're in an elevator going down, and you see Bonasera coming up because the shot's from the inside of the elevator.
Yeah, you're meeting up with Bonasera.
Yeah. And my best interpretation of that, besides, in addition to just being really cool, is maybe there's a little play on heaven and hell and what's right and wrong, and is it really clear who's going to heaven, who's going to hell?
I like that. It's very morally gray area.
Bonasera too. He's down below, which could represent hell.
So Don is on the elevator with Sonny's body. And they're going down.
We don't see that yet.
But is he? Do you know, or is he already? I thought he was waiting down there with Bonasera already. Do you know if that's true?
I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
I didn't watch ahead. Yeah, that's right. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah. I wish they had that cut scene with Bonasera because, of course, we love Bonasera.
Oh yeah, this is the first time we see him.
Yeah,
in a very long time, over a year.
Only the last. This is the last time we see him. Is he? He's not present at like the Don's funeral or Mama's.
Gosh, I don't think so.
Seems like you have a corpse valet in the movie. You really should. I bet he's in the background or something. We'll have to take a look.
That's right. Maybe when Mama dies, because are they in a funeral home at that point, or are they in their house?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's 2.
That's in
also,
GF2.
so.
Yeah, that's down.
I can understand how
Bonasera
them
would be
being in Reno, they wouldn't use Bonasera because he'd be back in New York. But unless they fly him in specially.
Well, Hagen keeps calling you. Offer you owe your service to Don, and I've no doubt he has no doubt you'll repay. It's like, sir, I've repaid that with Santino.
I give you 20 funerals already.
You must meet him at the Reno Central Avenue funeral parlor in 3 hours. But I live in New York. Please do not be later than 3 hours. You owe him a service.
He does not turn down a favor if he's asked. If someone turns him down.
Yeah. If someone turns down the 19th or 20th favor, he never asks again.
He's like, I guess that's okay.
That's why he's complaining in the book. He's complaining to his wife.
Yeah,
exactly about. Yeah, he's like, oh, I shouldn't have done this. Now I'm at their mercy. I have to do what they say.
Is he worried that he will be involved in a crime, or is he worried that they're going to want a free, like a high-end coffin for free? And he's like, we just got those models in, and then they're going to be going for nothing.
It's probably a little of both, Alex.
It's probably true.
It's more so because of the committing crimes, and he just realizes he's gotten into bed with these mobsters.
Yeah.
And what happens when you get into bed with a mobster, Alex?
What?
No, I'm asking you. What happens?
Go to the mattresses. They call that going to the mattresses.
Go to the mattresses.
When you get into bed with a monster.
Pretty good, not bad.
So, is this a sign of weakness? That the Don is surrendering, basically. Yeah. I'm assuming at this point,
surrendering to the 5 families.
I'm assuming at this point, any one of the families could have said, let's call a meeting and try to hash this out. So presumably Sonny didn't do it because he was still fighting.
Oh, he would never surrender.
So is the Don getting, is he slipping? Or is it just, is this part of a bigger plan where he's like, I'll get Michael back and then we'll get, we'll
get Michael back. I'll die. He'll become ruthless, and he'll kill all these suckers. And then he'll go into the drug business, which is what I wanted all along. It's part of the plan.
I like how he rewrites the stories. I wish the Turk had just let me get involved in his business. All this madness never would have happened if he just made me a reasonable offer.
Do you think, like in Star Wars later, Don Corleone should appear as a ghost?
Oh, totally.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Oh, and Fredo and Santino. In Michael's study. Well, we have to ask, what would be the best scene if they could only come back once, either as individuals or all together collectively? What would be the best time for him to do that?
Well, I mean, seriously, I mean, it's almost like Fredo. It does come back almost as a ghost in GF3.
Yeah,
because they have those flashbacks of him in the, you see Michael thinking, and it's those flashbacks of him in the getting shot in the boat and stuff, and clearly his presence looms low. So Fredo seems like he'd be the most dramatically good one because that's the one that literally haunts Michael Corleone. But for comedy purposes, I guess I would definitely say you want to have all the. It should be like at the end of. It should be like at the end of Return of the Jedi, where Michael Corleone kills the members of the 5 family, and then looks over, and then you see the ghost of Marlon Brando, of Sonny, and of Fredo standing there.
Oh, yeah.
And Fredo's like, wait a minute, I'm not dead yet.
Wait, approvingly? They're smiling.
Yeah.
Smiling to him like, nice job, Mikey. We knew you could do it.
The Don and Sonny would be approving. But Fredo would be all like,
even my ghost got stepped over.
Yeah. I'm not dead, not like everyone says.
And as soon as Johnny Ola dies, Fredo's ghost is in cahoots with Johnny Ola's ghost.
Well, certainly by the time you get to GF2, that ghost thing is very crowded because then you got
you got everyone. Luca Brasi,
you got Barzini, you got Tattaglia, Cuneo.
Did you see the ghost of Barzini?
Barzini. Like, I'm Boozini now.
So what would be scarier, seeing Luca Brasi at your door or the ghost of Luca Brasi at your door?
I think seeing the ghost of Luca Brasi would be better. Would be better.
Not as scary.
Yeah. Because we know the real Luca Brasi can kill you.
Yeah, and if
we,
he's
as
at
far
your-
as the ghost, feel like for all we know, he could just be like, oh, you know.
All he really can do at that point is leave pre-war scotch for you. You get and freak you out.
No,
Who left this pre-war scotch here? No. Yeah, if Luca Brasi, the real live person, is at your door, you're already dead.
Yeah, you don't even know it yet. You've been dead for 10 minutes and you don't even know it yet. Yeah, so that's what I would say. I would say in order, it would be the ghost of, or maybe at the end of Godfather 3. Maybe when
Really?
maybe that's when when he's screaming over the dead body of Maria. That's when that's when the happy ghost Fredo comes back.
Oh, yeah.
Because then he's like, yeah, see,
Yeah.
yeah, you like it.
Yeah.
So,
What about if maybe
the ghost of Khartoum,
maybe the
the
ghost?
headless horse?
Oh yeah. What if Santino were a ghost at some point later on, and he's having physical relations with the ghost of Lucy? Oh no, she's not dead yet.
Yeah, she was not dead.
She's alive through the whole trilogy.
The ghost of Sonny would have to say to somebody, "Hey, go kill that Lucy. Go kill that Lucy, bro. Would you?"
Oh, that's right. Oh man, that's low. What do you make a comedy with all these ghosts?
And then the ghost of Carlo would show up, and that would be awkward because it'd be all like, Paulie's already. Do you think we'd see a ghost of Paulie?
No, you won't see the ghost of Paulie no more. Thanks for that one.
Glad I could help you set it up. His last name should be Paulie No More.
Paulie no more. That's no more. When you betray your family and you are a dance judge, you're no more.
That's you're like the Weird
Stupid
Al
jerk.
of
Maybe that could be the next song.
you're like the Johnny Fontaine Weird Al. Like you do parodies of shows of standard standard songs.
Johnny.
And plus your voice is weak.
Yeah, that too. Hey, speaking of Johnny Fontaine, I think when the ghost of Don Corleone visits Johnny Fontaine, he's like, "What am I going to do? What am I gonna do?" It's a perfect ghost, kind of antagonistic ghost.
Yeah, when a ghost is telling you look terrible, you look terrible.
I want you to get some rest, get some sleep. You look like a ghost. Oh, wait a
Like
minute.
you've seen a ghost. What's the matter with you?
This is turning into our Halloween special.
Oh, totally.
We'll have to replay it next Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, speaking of listening back and replaying, I was listening back to our previous episode.
And replaying it?
I was mixing it. And I have to give you a compliment, my brother Alex. You were doing amazing impressions of the greatest silver screen legends of the silver screen. I didn't appreciate it while we were recording.
Are you talking about in the bonus
tons.
content when I was doing all the...
We did a little during the regular, and then it spilled over
Yeah.
into the bonus content. For example, you did Jimmy Stewart,
Well, my Jimmy Stewart's pretty good.
and you did Cary Grant,
Oh, Cary Grant's not bad either.
and of course you did Humphrey Bogart, which is my favorite.
It's true. I'll play it again for you if you want. Sweetheart.
Oh, looks like I've seen a ghost, sweetheart.
I'm Jack. That's some weird, wild stuff.
Is that what's his face?
That's my Johnny Carson.
Oh, John, I thought it was who's the famous impressionist?
Rich Little?
Rich Little.
That's Rich Little
Yeah.
impersonating Jack Nicholson.
And then, of course, my favorite was you did great Charlie Chaplin.
That's the voice you like when I do the best.
You did impressions for her, Sam. Do it for me. But anyway, I wanted to give you a shout out, a kudos.
Thank you. You should make sure to give me a good review on iTunes.
Wait a minute, is it still called a shout out if you're sitting right across from me?
Yes, you're still shouting out.
I thought you're doing it if they're not there because you're sort of calling out to them.
Oh, boy.
We'll
ask, we'll answer.
It's not a bad question, right?
No. Shout out.
And I'm not shouting to you. You're just a couple feet away from me.
The Ink Panthers podcast, we changed it to Send a Friend. I wanted to send a friend to Andy. So shout out.
Okay.
Just to refresh it a little bit.
Did you make that up?
I don't remember. Probably.
Send a friend.
Send a friend.
Huh.
So what am I ready? Oh, shout outs.
You send a friend to her. Why don't you send a friend to me?
Shout out
Sam.
rules. I'll look up the rules for shout outs.
Yeah. We have some other exciting stuff for the bonus content.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
You and I watched The Freshman.
This is true.
And we haven't talked about it at all.
You kept wanting to, and I'd be like, You and I can never talk about it unless the Patreons are there listening to.
That's right. So in the bonus content, we'll be talking about The Freshman, starring Marlon Brando and Matthew Broderick.
And Frank Whaley. Whaley.
That's right.
And
Bruno Kirby.
Bruno Kirby. Clemenza himself. So go to godfatherminute.com /
Kirby? Is that you?
Go to godfatherminute /support. godfatherminute.com /support, and you can hear the bonus content. Speaking of the bonus content, we are 2/3 of the way to our goal of doing the GF3 commentary. So,
excellent!
There's never been a better time to become a Patreon.
Fantastic! Supporter. Oh my gosh! By the time we see the scene,
oh my gosh! The audience is going to go crazy, even more so than when we talk to Barzini or Show Cause. They're going to go berserk.
We're going to have to get where we are. Why we're going to have to get up and cheer?
That is going to be one heck of a countdown.
Yeah. Well, we haven't talked much about this minute. We've been sidetracked a little bit.
Yeah.
I've got a few more things.
Go ahead. Let's hear what you got for me.
So as Don Corleone's leaving, and he gives Tom these instructions right before he leaves, he gives him a little hug.
An awkward kind of
hug. And Tom leans in and puts his hand on the Don. I was wondering, is this the most physical affection that Don has ever showed to Tom?
Oh, to Tom specifically?
Yeah, I don't think we ever...
Well, they don't have any scenes together, really, that he would... I thought you were going to say, do we have signs of him giving affection to anyone?
Well, that was my follow-up question after we answered the Tom question. Yeah. I don't think we see him very much.
The only thing...
Johnny.
Well, I was going to say, during the wedding part, I feel like maybe every time someone comes in, does he give them a hug? Does he give, like, Johnny...
Yeah, maybe. He definitely gives Johnny a hug.
Does he give... what's his name? We were just talking about
Carlo? Paulie?
Don Corleone.
Oh, Luca.
Does he give Luca a hug?
Oh, when he goes in to give
front of his daughter's wedding. Will asked.
No. I know the answer. He shakes his hand.
He shakes his hand.
Yeah.
Got it.
He shakes his hand.
So, so maybe he does, but he hugs
definitely
Johnny.
Hugs Johnny and grabs his face like you look
because he's
terrible.
A Godfather, so
he's it's almost a religious relationship.
It's an interesting question. We'll have to keep an eye out.
We'll keep an eye out
who hugs and who doesn't hug. Because you think, especially the cliche is that Italians are very warm, demonstrative people. So you think there would be a lot of hugging. I guess there's a lot of physical contact because Sonny puts his arm around people ball bustingly and that kind of stuff.
Fredo slaps Mikey in the very first wedding scene.
That's right. And then Mikey kisses Fredo during the New Year's Eve.
Oh yeah,
New Year's Eve scene.
Yeah.
All sorts of affection.
We'll keep our eyes on that.
But it is an awkward hug. It's tough. It's tough to do a not awkward hug when one person is sitting and one person is standing.
Yeah.
Although weirdly, it reminded me of Mikey hugging Fredo at Mama's funeral.
Oh, that's right, because Fredo is seated.
Yeah, Fredo is seated.
Yeah,
and so there's definitely like a power play. You know, it makes sense. The person sitting down would be the weaker of the. It's almost like a child, sitting down there.
Yeah.
So
you're the one who told me that LBJ was famous for he was very tall and he would walk up really close to people.
Yeah, he would be a close talker, like almost like leaning over the person as an intimidation tactic.
I like a little bit of personal space when I'm speaking with someone, but I think I'm going to try that just as a social experiment to see what it's not to try to intimidate people because you and I are both very tall. Just to see at work, just to see how different people respond to it. And if they back up, I'll totally respect that. But
it could be a good way to win friends and influence people.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I watched that video you sent me.
Actually, in a similar matter, I was going to say eye contact. Because normally I try not to have eye contact. Not that I try to avoid eye contact, but I get uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
But someone was saying, like, if you have confidence and you have eye contact is a thing. So I'm gonna go with aggressive eye contact, radical eye contact.
Radical eye contact.
Have you heard about the radical honesty?
No.
Which is that you are honest even if it hurts the other person's feelings. Doesn't matter.
Wait. You mean just being honest or radically honest?
Radically honest, like I'm not going to tell little white lies. I'm just going to be totally honest all the time about. And if someone's outfit doesn't look good, and they ask me, I'm going to say that.
If they ask you, it's not like you're just going to go around being a jerk.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to not be a jerk.
Sure, but you're not just going to walk up to someone that you don't know and say, "Hey, those pants don't go with that shirt." By the way, hey, I'm Alex. Good to meet you.
What I would do is I would go, those pants don't go with that shirt. Alex Robbins. Then I would leave. So radical eye contact. That's my plan.
Radical eye contact.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what does that mean then?
It means I will not be the first person to blink or look away first. I will hold the eye contact until they break.
If they turn away.
Unless I sustain dominance of them.
If they turn away and you're still talking, will you
turn my head?
Will you run around their body to keep eye contact?
I will not. Them averting their eyes is enough. Okay. Like, okay, there you go. As long as you admitted that, as long as you've demonstrated your submissiveness.
Yeah, but you know what they say. You don't just show your domination. You have to do that second one to even furthermore prove that you're the one. So I suggest you follow them around and stare at them again until they go again, because then
they know I'm serious.
Know for serious. Yeah.
All right, I'll give it a try.
When you're teaching out, I'm a trained teacher, and when we went to our classroom management class, by the way, there's no class, you just learn trial by fire. What you're supposed to do when all the kids are talking in class, you're supposed to not tell them you're not supposed to shush them and say, be quiet. You just wait.
Shut up, sit down.
You just wait, and eventually they'll be quiet. And it's very hard at first because you're just waiting, and it's a little embarrassing as all these kids are talking. You're just waiting, and you can stare at certain kids that are talking, but eventually they will all be quiet.
45 minutes. Once the bell rings and they all leave, you have quiet.
Well, that's how long you have to wait. I mean, then you know that. No, the reason I bring it up is because once they're quiet, the rookie mistake is as soon as they're quiet, the teacher starts talking again right away.
Right.
So what you're supposed to do is as soon as it's quiet, you wait another 4 to 7 seconds. Totally quiet.
You know who used to do the same thing?
Who?
Adolf Hitler.
Get out of here.
He did. If you see, there's speeches where he would show up like an hour late for his big rallies, and then when he went out there, he would just sit there with his arms folded until everyone was quiet, and then he would sit there for literally another minute with his arms folded and just holding everyone silently. So
that's amazing.
So you're onto something there.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, you know what? My first mentor described teaching as, he said, Andy, he actually sounded a lot like Hyman Roth. He said, Andy, you are a benevolent dictator. You're not there to make friends. Don't be mean. Don't be a jerk. But you are a benevolent dictator. What you say goes. Yeah. Ooh, I never really thought of it as in terms of being a dictator.
Hey, lean into it, man. It's where we're at these days, I
guess, right?
You don't want to lean away from being a dictator in the early 21st century.
Yeah. So radical eye contact.
Yes.
And what else? And standing close to people.
Standing close.
So we'll both try it, and we'll come back next week, and we'll talk about how it went.
Yeah. And especially doing both at the same time, radical eye contact and getting into their personal space. That's a tough one. Is it better to do eye contact when you get in their personal space, or the thing where you get in their personal space and you're almost like talking past them?
Oh man, I don't know if I've ever witnessed that. You mean not even looking at them?
Yeah, you almost you would put your head over their shoulder and be like, "Listen, I want you to get out of here." Try that one. That's the ultimate goal.
And you don't look at them, and you lean past them and you go, "I have your house bugged."
You do not want to mess with me.
or you go up and they're not even talking. They're just waiting. You go up, you lean, and you go, "I'll wait." You're already waiting.
I've got all day.
I got all day.
Can you name the 5 families in The
Oh,
Godfather?
I knew you were going to ask that. It's the next chapter in the book.
You could
Zeppo,
come on.
Harpo. Okay, let's see. Tatalia.
Tatalia's a pimp.
Oh, that's Cuneo.
That's 2.
I said Barzini.
You did not say
Oh, okay.
Borzini, but that's 3.
Okay. Corleone.
Corleone.
Well, does he count as one of the 5?
I think so.
He does, right? Yeah. I know he's one of them, but they always refer to the 5 families.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they were referring to the other ones. And then finally, oh boy, who's it going to be? I never remember this one. Who is it?
Is it Stracci? Is
Maybe.
there one that's like that, Stracci?
Maybe. Next minute, I'll definitely know.
Okay. Because I looked up the
Stracci.
there is a real life 5 families in New York City, and so they're all fictionalized in the. Can you name any of the real life 5 families?
Yes, I can. Bonanno.
I could give you multiple choice if you
No,
want.
no. I can. I know. One of them almost sounds Spanish. It's
Mexico.
begins with a C. It's like
Christopher
Colombo.
Colombo.
The Colombo family. That's not the one I was thinking. That sounds Spanish, although it does sound Spanish. Bonanno, Colombo. Oh God, I don't remember. I've seen a million.
Right,
of
see
these
if you can
mob
pick out.
shows.
See if you can pick out the false one.
Okay.
Bonanno, Colombo, Gambino,
Gambino,
Benedetto, Lucchesi,
Lucchese is one.
Genovese.
Genovese is one. Yeah, Benedetto is not one.
Benedetto is the
Yeah.
fake one. That's right. The movie Goodfellas. That was the Lucchesi crime family, and apparently the Cumio family in The Godfather is based on that. But I don't know why you never see him do anything, do you?
No, never.
Yeah, so it's weird that they
Just
were
get
saying,
killed.
or maybe, or although maybe in some of the other, like maybe it's in like the video games or the,
Oh yeah.
like they use like real life things that happen to them. And so, 1931 is when all the mobsters in New York got together and said, listen, we can't fight each other. We got to be organized. So let's form this thing. And there was originally a kind of the 5 families and then one head of all the group. But then when that guy died, no one could agree on who would be the one guy overseeing the group. So that's when they came up with the commission, which was basically like a panel of family members.
It's a great idea.
It is. It's very efficient. It's very
It's like they're taking crime but organizing it.
exactly capitalism at its best. Yeah, it seems like that's the smart thing to do because that way you don't
definitely.
waste time fighting each other. You just
Yeah, blood is a big expense. Solazzo said it himself. He's right.
5 shots and he's still alive.
I wanted to point out how Tom's, I think it's great how Tom's narration continues while the Don walks away and the elevator is going down. You can hear Hagen talking. It's
I
great.
like that too. It's a good bridge between the 2 scenes. Do they do that? What other times do they do that?
Oh, they do it when
I guess when the priest is talking at the during the baptism.
yeah, that classic scene, but also earlier that we've already talked about when Santino, Don Corleone, and Hagen are meeting about Solazzo, and I think Solazzo is going over his resume.
That's right.
And you see Solazzo walking up the stairs at the Genco Olive Oil
That's
Company.
right. Also, when Tom is being showed around Waltz's estate, first you see the exterior and you hear them talking like, "You appreciate beauty, don't you?"
Yeah.
And then they cut to inside the stable. So I guess they do that trick. They do that trick a bunch.
Yeah.
It's an efficient storytelling technique.
Yeah,
'Cause you're
definitely.
basically just combining 2 different things in one. The only last note I had to do with Marlon Brando.
Lay it on me.
He had 11 children.
In real life.
Wow.
Wow.
And weirdly, the story of Christian Brando is eerily similar. It's Christian Brando was one of his kids.
Yeah.
And one of his Christian Brando had a half sister, one of Marlon Brando's other kids, named Cheyenne, and she was 8 months pregnant. And she came to Christian and said, "Oh, my boyfriend beat me up." And then Christian went and got into a fight with the guy and wound up shooting him and killing him.
Oh, wow.
And he wound up going to jail for manslaughter.
Wow.
And then he was like, what made it even worse is that she was kind of had mental illness. Mm-hmm. So like, he's not even sure whether or not he doesn't. Now they don't even think that he was even really beating her up.
Oh,
like
man.
This was just her kind of like delusion about it. So,
wow.
So there you go.
That's tough.
And he was released from jail in 1995. And right when he was the year before he was released, Cheyenne, his sister that got him into jail, committed suicide.
Oh, man.
So,
I remember hearing bits and pieces over the years because I was living in New York at the time. I remember reading the Daily News.
Yeah, it was all the big tabloid thing. In 2001, he got somehow involved in the. Do you remember the Robert Blake murder?
Yeah. Yeah.
Robert Blake claimed that Christian Brando was the one who killed
his wife.
Whoa!
Why?
I know something about an affair or whatever. I didn't read. I didn't go into a great deal of depth, but he died of pneumonia in 2008, and
Sounds like he had some mental illness.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a tough life. He's buried in Kalama, Washington, which is right across the river there. We should go. Wow. We should go visit the grave of Christian Brando.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. So do you remember that Robert Blake used to be on the Little Rascals?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah.
That's all I have for minute 122. You got anything else?
Yeah, I've got some stuff from the book.
From the book?
Yeah. Let's see. I was struck by how in the book, when Hagen delivers the news that Santino is dead, in the book, Don Corleone just starts giving orders to everyone. He has this whole plan. It's much better in the movie. He's immediately mourning, and it's very emotional. But in the book, it's crazy how he's thinking. He's more like Michael, I think. May I share some?
I'll allow it.
So don't forget, what's different in the book is that Clemenza and Tessio are there.
Right.
They show up, so it's the four of them together.
Because he wanted Jim to tell, I want you to tell them everything.
Yeah. So Don Corleone says, none of you are to concern yourself with this affair. None of you are to commit any acts of vengeance. None of you are to make any inquiries to track down the murderers of my son without my express command. There will be no further acts of war against the 5 families without my express and personal wish. Our family will cease all business operations and cease to protect any of our business operations until after my son's funeral. Then we will meet here again and decide what must be done.
Pause. He says they won't protect anyone until the funeral? That seems like a weird policy.
Well, I think because he's just stopping everything.
So that means, like, if someone went to Bonasera's house and smashed up his windows, the Don would be like, well, it doesn't matter. I was planning the funeral.
I think he's still going. I think he's going to contact everyone to say, hey, let's just call truce right now.
Or is it like the daughter's wedding day, where on the day of the boss's son's funeral, you can do whatever you want to anyone under his protection. No ramifications.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Enzo.
Yeah. Our family until after my son's funeral. Then we will meet here again and decide what must be done. Tonight we must do what we can for Santino. We must bury him as a Christian. Yeah. I will have friends of mine, it's almost a laundry list of things. I will have friends of mine arrange things with the police and all other proper authorities. Clemenza, you will remain with me at all times as my bodyguard, and you and the men of your regime. Tessio, you will guard all other members of my family. Tom, I want you to call Amerigo Bonasera and tell him I will need his services at some time during this night. To wait for me at his establishment. It may be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Do you all understand that?
Yes, Don Corleone.
The three men nodded. Don Corleone said, Clemenza, get some... He's still going.
Wow.
Clemenza.
Pick up my laundry down at the laundromat.
Get me some Sanka. Mama, get a microphone. Sing me a song.
Put the screen on. Put the storm windows in.
Fredo, look up the...
Fredo, go pick someone up at the airport. I don't care who they are.
Sure, Pop. He really is still going. Clemenza, get some men and cars and wait for me. I will be ready in a few minutes. Tom, you did well.
It's like he just keeps going around the circle, signing different tasks.
The old man is losing it. He's slipping.
I want you to shoot McCluskey, and Tessio, I want you to kill the Turk.
Michael, he's pointing at different people, giving him different names. Apollonia, I want you to give Michael driving lessons. So this is interesting. Tom, you did remember last minute Tom was really beating himself up and
He's a bad consigliere.
Well, he admitted it. He's to himself. He says, I'm out of my league.
Yeah.
So
He played this one beautifully.
Tom, you did well. In the morning, I want Constantia with her mother. Make arrangements for her and her husband to live in the mall.
Wow, like Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, no. I think in between the Gap and the oh my gosh,
You can open a place called Connie's, like a little hair salon. What would she sell in Connie's? Dishes?
Oh yeah, maybe brooms and dustpans. And things.
It's called Clean It Up.
Oh, and Carlo comes and does appearance. Oh, they do demos every 20 minutes. Right? That would be a fun store. You go and you just smash stuff.
Yeah.
All just cheap, porcelain,
great, yeah.
cheap stuff.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's set that up.
Let's see. So he's setting them up on the mall. How about that?
Nice.
Well, just Connie and Mom
Right.
so far.
Well, I assume Mama's already on the mall, isn't she?
Yeah, but he wants Connie to move in with her.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm my own born grandchild.
Oh, no, sorry. I want Connie with her mother. Make arrangements for her and her husband to live in the mall.
Wow.
So he's moving Carlo. Yeah.
Do you think Don knows what's going on? Does Don know that Carlo is implicated in this thing?
I don't know. I think he just woke up. Right?
But like when
no one has talked to him. I don't think he knows.
So wait, you don't think all this time he's been sitting there, like Tom hasn't been giving him updates about like, oh, Connie was being beat up by like he hasn't been updating the family.
I don't know. There's
business?
nothing in the book about that. I mean, Santino's been the one calling the shots.
Wow. I would have thought he'd be at least acting as assistant consigliere.
Well, he's practically semi-retired. Yeah. So he's moving Connie and Carlo. Maybe he's just, you know what they say, he's moving everyone really close.
Why?
You keep your friends close.
Well, that's good. That's a good policy.
Your family closer.
Because you can't lose your family.
All right. Have Sandra's friends.
Wow.
I'm not kidding,
deep
man.
bench of...
He just learned that Santino died. He's got a...
He's not even Sandra's friends.
Yeah.
Have Michael's college roommate send me his transcripts.
And Lucy, have her see a gynecologist. We're going to tighten her up.
Call that girl Kay and tell her to come over here and bring some of the...
Have Sandra's friends, the women, go to her house.
Wait, have Sandra's friends, the women?
So this is so he just said
her friends, the women.
That's the spinoff. The women.
Yeah.
So he just said he wants mom to move with Connie and Carlo to the mall.
The compound. Connie, Carlo to the compound.
Yeah. Have Sandra's friends, the women, go to her house to stay with her.
Okay.
Her being Connie.
Do you think that means...
Because Connie doesn't know yet, remember? Connie doesn't know Santino's dead.
Well, how do we know that?
Don't tell Connie.
My wife will go there also when I have spoken with her. My wife will tell her the misfortune, and the women will arrange for the church to say their masses and prayers for his soul.
Wow.
Yeah, remember Hagen protected Connie too.
Yeah. I'm just not sure how long this is. I guess we said this is that same evening.
There's another 7 pages of instructions.
Tessio, you go talk to Barney. We're gonna need some inside police insight.
Bonnie.
This is where Marlon Brando and Don Corleone
Like merge.
He's like,
Come on, Waltz. He's gonna get what's that singer? Frank Sinatra. He's gonna get.
it's all,
I need 50 pounds of sandbags to put in the gurney.
The Don got up from his leather armchair. The other men rose with him, and Clemenza and Tessio embraced him again.
Oh, there you go. They hug.
Hagen held the door open for the Don, who paused to look at him for a moment. Then the Don put his hand on Hagen's cheek, embraced him quickly, and said in Italian,
You've been a good son.
wow,
He's delirious.
You comfort me. I love you, Fredo.
oh, God. I'm Tom, Pop. He used to correct him.
He's like, oh. Well, then, do what I say. You sure are. Yeah, you look like Fredo. Are you sure you're not Fredo? Well, then never mind. Don't go to the airport. Pick someone to stay here. Listen, Fredo, I know it's hard to understand, but I want Michael to take over. It's the way I want it.
The Don told Hagen that he had acted properly in this terrible time. Do you think he's being legit, or is he
That
just...
proves the Don is slipping. If he's telling Tom is doing a good job.
And that's the end of the chapter.
Wow, end of an era.
Boy, what do you make of that whole laundry list?
I do agree that the movie version is better. I think it's more.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely more better as an emotional scene rather than a logistical, like, you know.
I need 50 feet of copper wire and garden hose and 2 boxes. I need 24 bungee cords. You know, the ones with the little hooks on the end. Did you get the cannoli like I said?
So you want to rate this minute?
And I need 2 tickets to that show. You know, the Sicilian,
kids are talking about?
Sicilian opera, the one where the guy's mother dies. What's going on?
So what do you rate
So
this
let's
minute?
rate it. So he's already heard the news.
You heard the news. Tom does not speak. I'm ready.
It's all Don Corleone.
It's all Don Corleone. Don Corleone.
All right, I got mine.
1, 2, 3.
4.
Oh, there you go.
I can't believe you did 3. 2 minutes ago, you did 5.
I know. I think like I was like
You were tempering your hand.
kind of, and I guess just because it's.
This war ends now.
I know the first mention of the 5 families. He had his drink. Refers to Bonasera.
Did you bump it up because Marlon Brando's in it? So it was a 2 minute, but you bumped it up to 3?
I guess so.
When you put it that way.
I don't know. Yeah, I think like on average, I was trying to like the other day, I wanted to do a 4.5.
Yeah,
and this one probably would have been 3.5. So like,
Well, it's literally a transition minute.
yeah. Like I feel the other one had more of the iconic stuff
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
Like,
Have you had your drink?
They shot Sonny on the causeway.
Like, this is almost like an afterthought to that. This is almost like an epilogue to that minute. So, although we do see Bonasera, I should have bumped it up half a
Well,
stop.
we got a couple great minutes coming up.
Yeah, we do. We got. I think the whole rest of the movie is pretty much great
yeah,
minutes. So,
Just don't tell me you're going to rate it 3 stars.
all right, that'll rip up minute 122. We'll be back next week with minute 1, 2, 3. That should be easy. And until then,
I want you to contact
I couldn't remember what he said this minute.
I couldn't remember either. I was going to say, I want you to contact the heads of the 5 families.
So until next time.
But you want to do a clean one?
No.
Okay. Until next time.
This war ends now. Now.
Now.